Have you ever wondered what happens when the charming person everyone loves comes home and closes the door? What if I told you that behind that perfect smile, there's a reality so different it would shock you? I'm Dr. Emily Carter, and today I want to tell you about something most people never see: the narcissist at home. Because what happens behind closed doors is nothing like the image they present to the world. Let me tell you about Jessica, 32 years old, marketing manager at a tech firm in Seattle, successful, put together, smart. She came to me on a Thursday afternoon, and the first thing she said was, "Everyone thinks I'm crazy." Jessica had been married to Blake for 4 years. To the outside world, they were the perfect couple. Blake was charming, successful, always the life of the party. Their friends loved him. Her family adored him. At gatherings, he'd tell jokes, ask people about their lives, bring expensive wine. But Jessica was exhausted, and she couldn't explain why. "The moment we get in the car to go home," she told me, "everything changes." I leaned forward. "Tell me what that looks like." She took a breath. "At the party, he's laughing, touching my shoulder, calling me sweetheart. Then we get in the car, and the silence is heavy. I can feel his mood shift. By the time we pull into the driveway, he's angry." "What's he angry about?" I asked. "That's the thing," she said. "It changes every time. Last week, I talked too much to his colleague. The week before, I didn't talk enough to his boss. 2 months ago, I wore the wrong dress. Yesterday," she paused, "yesterday, I laughed at someone else's joke." This is the reality of living with a narcissist, and it's something most people will never understand unless they've lived it. Jessica described what her evenings looked like. Blake would come home from work. She'd greet him at the door. His response depended entirely on the kind of day he'd had. Good day at work? He might be pleasant, might even compliment her. Bad day? She became his emotional punching bag. I started tracking patterns, trying to figure out what made him happy, what set him off, but there was no pattern. That's what made it so exhausting. Research shows narcissistic personality disorder involves a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, a need for admiration, and a lack of empathy that persists across various contexts. But here's what the clinical definition doesn't capture: the exhaustion, the confusion, the constant walking on eggshells. "He never yells," Jessica continued. "That's what makes it so hard to explain. He just withdraws, gets cold, makes little comments." I knew what she meant. Covert narcissistic abuse, the kind that leaves no visible mark. "Give me an example," I said. "Okay, last Tuesday, I made his favorite dinner, pot roast, mashed potatoes, the works. Spent 2 hours cooking. He came home, looked at the table and said, 'You made this?' I said yes. He sat down, took one bite and said, 'My mom makes it better.' Then he ate in silence while scrolling his phone. She looked at her hands. I threw the rest away after he left the table. I haven't cooked for him since." But here's what Jessica didn't know yet. This was just the beginning of what she'd discover. At home, Blake's need for control manifested in subtle ways. He'd move her things. "Just tidying up," he'd say. But she could never find anything. Her keys, her phone charger, the book she was reading. He'd reorganize her closet without asking, throw out her clothes he didn't like. "I was helping," he'd say when she got upset. "Why are you so ungrateful?" In narcissistic homes, unspoken rules often dictate interactions among family members, including submission to the dominant person's authority and constant side-taking. Jessica learned these rules without anyone speaking them. Don't outshine Blake, don't have needs when he's tired, don't cry, don't be too happy, don't talk about your accomplishments, don't forget his. "I got a promotion," she told me. "I was so excited. I called him from work. He said congratulations, but his voice was flat. When I got home, he was in the bedroom. I went in to talk to him. He looked up and said, 'Must be nice. Some of us actually earned our positions.'" The thing that confused Jessica most, Blake wasn't always like this. "Sometimes he's wonderful," she said. "Brings me flowers, takes me to dinner, tells me I'm beautiful. Those days, I think maybe I imagined everything. Maybe I am too sensitive. maybe I do expect too much. This is the cycle, and it's textbook narcissistic behavior. The idealization, the devaluation, the breadcrumbs of kindness that keep you hooked. But if you think you've heard the most shocking part, wait until you hear what happened next. Jessica started noticing how Blake talked about other people at home. Everyone was either amazing or worthless. His boss was brilliant one week, incompetent the next. His best friend was a genius until he disagreed with Blake about politics. Then he was an idiot. No one stays in the good category for long, except his mom. She can do no wrong. I asked about Blake's mother. Jessica's face changed. She calls every day, sometimes twice. Blake drops everything to talk to her, in the middle of dinner, during a movie, once during intimate time. She blushed. He just answered. Talked to her for 30 minutes. Narcissistic personality disorder often involves interpersonal exploitation, entitlement, lack of empathy, and arrogant attitudes and behaviors. At home, these traits create an environment where the narcissist's needs eclipse everyone else's. Blake's mom has a key to our house, Jessica continued. She lets herself in, rearranges things, leaves notes about how I could improve the home. Last month, she threw out my grandmother's quilt because it didn't match the aesthetic. Did Blake say anything? I asked. Jessica laughed bitterly. He said I was being dramatic, that his mom was just trying to help, that I should be grateful to have a mother-in-law who cares. This dynamic, the enmeshment with a parent, it's common. The narcissist often has one relationship that validates their worldview, usually a parent, sometimes a sibling. This person can do no wrong because they provide unconditional narcissistic supply. But Jessica's real breaking point came 3 months before she walked into my office. She got sick, nothing serious, just the flu. She was in bed, fever of 101, body aches. She asked Blake to pick up medicine on his way home from work. He came home 6 hours later. No medicine. "Where were you?" she asked. "Had drinks with the team," he said. "Why?" "I asked you to get medicine. I'm really sick." He stared at her. "You could have ordered it online. I had a work thing. You know my job is demanding." She started crying. From exhaustion, from fever, from the realization that even basic care wasn't something she could expect. He looked at her with disgust. "Don't be so dramatic. It's just a cold. I'm going to bed. Try to be quiet." But the story doesn't end there. What Jessica discovered next changed everything. If you're recognizing these patterns in your own life, hit that like button and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Knowledge is the first step to freedom. Jessica began keeping a journal, writing down interactions, not because she wanted to, because she felt like she was losing her mind. Blake would say something cruel, then deny it the next day. "I never said that. You're making things up." So she started documenting. One entry. "Blake told me I've gained weight, said I should watch what I eat. When I got upset, he said he was just concerned about my health, then called me oversensitive." Another. "Blake's mom came over, criticized my cooking. Blake laughed. When I said it hurt my feelings, he said I can't take a joke." Another. "Told Blake I was feeling depressed. He said, 'Everyone gets sad sometimes. You don't need therapy. You need to be more positive.'" The DSM-5-TR defines narcissistic personality disorder as including a lack of empathy and a pervasive pattern of behaviors beginning by early adulthood. But living with these behaviors, it's like drowning slowly, with everyone around you insisting you're fine. Jessica's friends started noticing changes. She was quieter, canceled plans often, stopped posting on social media. When they asked if everything was okay, she'd say, "I'm fine, just tired." But she wasn't fine. One Sunday morning, Jessica was making breakfast. Blake came into the kitchen and said, "We need to talk." Her stomach dropped. Those 4 words had become a trigger. Blake said, "I've been thinking, you're not the person I married. You're always upset, always complaining. I don't know if this is working. Jessica felt panic. Despite everything, the thought of him leaving terrified her. Why? Because that's what narcissistic abuse does. It makes you believe you're the problem, that you're lucky they stay, that no one else would want you. "I'll do better," she heard herself say. "I'll try harder." Blake smiled. "That's my girl. I knew you'd understand." But something inside Jessica cracked that day, and the crack would soon split wide open. Jessica started researching. At first, just typing, "Why does my husband get mad at everything I do?" into Google at 2 a.m., then finding forums, articles, videos, and then she found a term that made her entire body go cold: covert narcissism. She read descriptions of behaviors. Every single one was Blake. The subtle put-downs, the silent treatment, the victim playing, the way he'd do something hurtful, then act wounded when she reacted. "I think my husband might be a narcissist," she told her best friend Maya over coffee. Maya looked uncomfortable. "Blake? But he's so nice." "To you," Jessica said. "He's nice to you, to everyone, just not to me." This is the isolation narcissists create. They're so charming publicly that no one believes the private reality. Victims feel crazy, alone, like they're making it all up. But then Jessica found something that changed her path completely. She found my practice, scheduled an appointment, and walked into my office with a notebook full of documented incidents, ready to be told she was overthinking everything. Instead, I told her the truth. "Jessica," I said after she finished telling me about Blake's behaviors, "what you're describing is emotional abuse, and the pattern fits with narcissistic personality disorder." She started crying. Not sad tears, relief tears. "I'm not crazy?" she asked. "No," I said firmly, "you're not crazy. You're being gaslit. There's a big difference." Over the next few months, Jessica and I worked together, not to fix her, she wasn't broken, but to help her see clearly, to understand what was happening, to learn that she had choices. I explained the hallmarks of narcissistic behavior at home, the public versus private persona, the emotional manipulation, the lack of genuine empathy, the way narcissists view partners as extensions of themselves rather than separate people with their own needs. "But he says he loves me," Jessica said one session. "What does his love look like?" I asked. She thought about it. "It looks like him being happy when I make him happy, when I dress how he likes, when I agree with him, when I don't need anything. That's not love," I said gently. "That's control." The realization settled over her slowly, like finally seeing a magic eye picture after staring at it for hours. And then came the moment that would define everything moving forward. If you're still watching, subscribe to this channel. We're diving into the hardest part next, the part no one talks about. Jessica decided she needed space to think. She told Blake she wanted to visit her sister in Portland for a weekend, alone. His reaction was immediate. "Why would you go alone? I'll come with you." "I need some time to myself," she said. His face changed. "Time to yourself? From me? What does that mean?" "It means I need a few days to clear my head." "Clear your head from what?" His voice was rising. "I knew it. You've been different, distant. Are you seeing someone?" This is projection. Narcissists often accuse others of what they themselves are guilty of, but Jessica didn't know that yet. "I'm not seeing anyone," she said. "I just need space." Blake's mood shifted. He became cold. "Fine, go, but don't expect me to be here when you get back." The threat was clear. Leave and lose everything. Jessica went anyway. In Portland, she stayed with her sister, Lauren. They talked for hours. Lauren had always seen something off about Blake, but never knew how to bring it up. Now, hearing Jessica's experiences, she was furious. "You need to leave him," Lauren said. "It's not that simple," Jessica replied. "We have a house, shared finances. All our friends are couples. Where would I even go?" In narcissistic family dynamics, love and respect are often conditional, creating constant insecurity and fostering unhealthy competition rather than genuine connection. These patterns don't just exist in childhood, they pervade adult relationships too. But something happened that weekend that gave Jessica clarity. She felt light. For 3 days, she wasn't walking on eggshells, wasn't monitoring her words, wasn't anticipating someone's mood. She laughed, really laughed, and she realized she hadn't done that in months. When she returned home, Blake was waiting. He'd bought flowers, made dinner, the house was spotless. "I missed you," he said, hugging her. "I'm sorry about how I reacted. I just love you so much." This is hoovering. The term comes from the Hoover vacuum. It's when narcissists suck you back in after you've pulled away. They become the person you fell in love with, temporarily. Jessica felt herself softening. Maybe she had overreacted. Maybe things would be different now. They weren't. 3 days later, Blake was back to his usual patterns. The criticism, the coldness, the control. But Jessica was different now. She tasted freedom, and she couldn't forget what it felt like. In our sessions, we worked on something crucial: setting boundaries. For someone who's been with a narcissist, boundaries feel impossible, even dangerous, because narcissists don't respect boundaries. They see them as challenges. Start small, I told Jessica. Pick one thing, one boundary, and hold it. She chose, "I will not discuss my work with Blake anymore." It seemed small, but for Jessica, whose accomplishments were constantly minimized, it was huge. The next time Blake asked about her day, she said, "Work was fine." "Fine? That's all you're going to say?" Yup. His frustration was visible, but she held firm. Over weeks, she added more boundaries. She stopped apologizing when she wasn't wrong, stopped explaining herself constantly, stopped trying to prove her perspective was valid. And Blake? He escalated. When you set boundaries with a narcissist, they typically do one of two things. They either increase their manipulation to break your boundaries, or they discard you for someone easier to control. Blake did both. He started love-bombing her. Excessive gifts, over-the-top compliments, promises of change. "We should go to couples therapy," he said. Jessica agreed, but in the first session, Blake spent the entire hour charming the therapist, painting Jessica as anxious and difficult. The therapist seemed to buy it. After the session, Blake was triumphant. "See, even the therapist thinks you're overreacting." But Jessica had learned something important. Not all therapists understand narcissism. Some are fooled by the narcissist's presentation, and couples therapy with a narcissist can actually be dangerous because it gives them ammunition to use against you later. She stopped going. Blake acted hurt. "You're not even willing to try to save our marriage." She didn't take the bait. And that's when things got real. Blake started a smear campaign, telling friends Jessica was having a breakdown, that she needed help, that he was worried about her mental health. Their mutual friends began calling her. "Blake is really concerned about you. Are you okay?" Jessica realized she had a choice. She could defend herself, explain everything, try to make people understand, or she could accept that people who didn't live in her home would never fully understand, and that was okay. She chose peace over proving herself right. In one of our sessions, Jessica asked me, "Does he know what he's doing? Does he know he's hurting me?" It's a question I get often, and the answer is complicated. People with narcissistic personality disorder often have impaired empathy and struggle to identify with others' feelings and needs, accompanied by misjudgments of their own influence. Do they know they're causing pain? Sometimes. Do they feel remorse? Rarely. Do they change? Without intensive, specialized therapy? Almost never. Blake probably believes his own narrative, that he's the victim, that you're the problem, that he's done nothing wrong. Narcissists have incredibly fragile egos. Admitting fault would shatter their self-image, so they rewrite reality to protect themselves. "So there's no hope?" Jessica asked. "Hope for Blake to change? Maybe, with years of therapy, specifically for narcissistic personality disorder. But that would require him to first acknowledge there's a problem, and narcissists rarely do that. Hope for me?" I continued. Absolutely. You're already doing the work. You're already changing your life. Jessica nodded slowly. I think I need to leave. I think you do too. The decision to leave a narcissist is terrifying, not just logistically, but emotionally, because they've spent so long convincing you that you're nothing without them, that you're lucky they stay, that no one else would want you. Breaking free means facing those internalized lies and building a new truth. Jessica moved out 6 weeks later. She found a small apartment across town, told Blake over the phone, not in person, for her own safety. His reaction was predictable. First, anger, threats. You'll regret this. You'll never find anyone like me. Then, promises. I'll change. I'll do therapy. Just come home. Then, cruelty. You're making the biggest mistake of your life. You're going to end up alone and pathetic. Jessica blocked his number, changed her locks, told her workplace not to let him in. The first month alone was hard. She cried a lot, questioned everything, wondered if she'd made a mistake, but she also slept through the night for the first time in years, ate what she wanted, wore what she wanted, watched TV shows Blake hated, made plans without asking permission. Slowly, she remembered who she was before Blake. Creative, funny, strong. She'd forgotten all of that. In our continued sessions, we worked on trauma recovery, because that's what living with a narcissist creates. Trauma, complex PTSD. It's not just about leaving, it's about healing. I keep having moments, Jessica told me 3 months after moving out, where I think I see him. My heart races, I panic, even though I know he's not there. That's hypervigilance, I explained. Your nervous system is still in protection mode. It learned to always scan for danger. That takes time to unlearn. We worked on grounding techniques, therapy modalities like EMDR, self-compassion practices, building a support system of people who believed her and validated her experience. And slowly, Jessica healed. A year later, she came to our session with different energy, lighter, more present. I went on a date, she said, smiling. How did it feel? Weird, she admitted. Normal felt weird. He asked what I liked, what I wanted. He listened, didn't interrupt, didn't correct me, didn't make it about himself. And I realized I spent 4 years with someone who never once asked what I actually wanted. We talked about what healthy relationships look like, how they're built on mutual respect, genuine interest, emotional safety, how both people can have bad days without it becoming a referendum on the entire relationship. I'm not ready for anything serious, Jessica said, but it's nice to remember that kind, emotionally available men exist. I smiled. You deserve that. You always did. Looking back, Jessica could see the warning signs she'd missed. The love bombing at the beginning, the isolation from friends, the gradual erosion of her confidence, the constant moving of goalposts. I wish I'd known then what I know now, she said. You know now, and you'll never unsee it. That's your protection for the future. Understanding narcissistic behavior, especially how it manifests at home, is crucial because the public persona and the private reality are often completely different. Behind closed doors, narcissists reveal who they truly are: controlling, manipulative, unable to truly connect, viewing their partners as objects to regulate their self-esteem rather than whole people worthy of love and respect. The work of healing from narcissistic abuse is deep. It involves recognizing the patterns, understanding you weren't the problem, learning to trust yourself again, setting firm boundaries, and accepting that some people will never understand what you experienced, and that's okay. For anyone living with a narcissist right now, know this: you're not imagining it. You're not too sensitive. You're not asking for too much. You deserve to be treated with basic human decency. And if you're not getting that, you have options. Therapy can help you see clearly. Document everything if you're planning to leave. Build a support system outside the relationship. Make an exit plan. And remember, the most dangerous time in an abusive relationship is when you're leaving. Get help from professionals who understand domestic abuse dynamics. Real love doesn't require you to disappear. It doesn't demand you be small. It doesn't punish you for having needs. Real love sees you, knows you, and chooses you anyway. Not the version of you that makes someone comfortable, the real you. Jessica learned this, and now she helps other women recognize the signs. She volunteers at a domestic violence organization, shares her story, offers hope. "I thought I'd lost myself forever," she told me in our final session, "but I was just buried under his needs, his moods, his version of reality, and now I'm free." If you made it this far, drop a comment below. What was your biggest takeaway? Have you experienced something similar? Let's support each other in the comments. The narcissist at home is a reality many people live with, but few understand. The charm they show the world hides the damage they do in private. But awareness is growing, stories are being told, and people are finding their way out. Jessica's story doesn't have a fairy tale ending. She still has hard days, still deals with trauma responses, still occasionally doubts herself, but she's free, and that makes all the difference. Remember, if you or someone you love is experiencing emotional abuse, you're not alone. Resources exist. Therapists who specialize in narcissistic abuse, support groups, hotlines. Reach out. You deserve better. And to everyone who's escaped a narcissistic relationship, I see you. Your strength is remarkable. Your healing matters, and your story could save someone else. The narcissist at home might look perfect from the outside, but behind closed doors, the truth always reveals itself. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. That clarity, it's your superpower. Use it wisely.